I grew up in a small town in the northeast of England where people struggled to make ends meet. The local coal mining industry was dying. Businesses were shutting down. To many Americans, this is also a familiar story. As jobs dried up and economic opportunities moved elsewhere, young people were forced to choose, leave or be left behind. When my turn came, my father told me to go too. He said, "There's nothing for you here." But the class barriers in the UK were daunting from someone from a working class town. It wasn't until I came to the United States that opportunities really began to open up. At Harvard University, I studied history and Russian. In Russia's decaying industries and economic blight, I recognised my own hometown's troubles. My expertise eventually took me to the White House, where I worked as an advisor on Russia to then President Donald Trump. As a historian, I had studied Russian President Vladimir Putin's rise to power and seen the techniques the former KGB agent used to exploit his opponent's weaknesses. I saw firsthand how Trump's insecurities made him vulnerable to Russian manipulation. In 2019, I testified in Congress at Trump's first impeachment hearings. Yet, the Kremlin's electoral meddling was not the main reason why Trump won the US presidency. Deep political chasms had opened in the United States. As America's heartlands and Rust Belt buckled under economic collapse, people felt left behind. Then, just like in Russia, a strongman promised to fight for them and swept to power on the back of their grievances. For the United States, Russia is the ghost of Christmas future. History is in danger of repeating itself. American democracy is not as invincible as many once believed, but the rot is coming from within the United States itself, as polarisation and despair take hold among people who see the decks stacked against them. In my book, I tell the story of how I came from a forgotten British coal mining town to work at the highest echelons of Washington. But for most people, unfair barriers to social mobility would make such a journey impossible. And if the structural inequalities eating away at American society are not addressed, its democracy hangs in the balance.